They told the world that Islam is the problem, that Muslims are the source of violence, instability, and fear. But history tells a very different story, because the greatest engines of bloodshed on earth have never been mosques, prayers, or faith. They have been empires, financial systems, arms industries, and political power hiding behind ideology. This video is not about defending one religion. It's about exposing a dangerous lie. Crime does not follow faith. It follows poverty, inequality, corruption, broken institutions, and demand. These problems exist in every society, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, and secular. That is documented reality. Yet notice the pattern. When violence happens in Western societies, it's explained as a social issue. When violence involves Muslims, it becomes a religious indictment. No one says Christian theft. No one says Buddhist gangs. Only Islam is treated as a criminal identity. That is not analysis. That is propaganda. Islam forbids alcohol, yet some of the highest rates of alcohol abuse exist in non-Muslim societies. No one calls that a religious failure. The world's most destructive drug cartels had no Islamic foundation. They corrupted governments, destroyed communities, and killed tens of thousands, and no one blamed Christianity or Buddhism for cocaine, heroin, or meth. Yet a small fraction of global violence is endlessly branded as Islamic terrorism, as if it defines nearly 2 billion people. That is not justice, it is selective outrage. Let's talk history, facts, not feelings. The deadliest wars in human history were not started by Muslims. Nuclear weapons were not deployed by Muslims. The transatlantic slave trade was driven by European imperial powers and financial interests. The genocide of indigenous peoples across the Americas and Australia was justified by conquest, race, and profit, not Islam. This is not an attack on a faith, it is a record of power. Here is the real deception, the language trick. When a non-Muslim commits violence, it's called a crime. When a Muslim commits the same act, it's called terrorism. Same violence, different label, different political use. This trick manufactures fear, and it works because it makes you ask, why do they hate us? Instead of who profits? So who runs the machine? The modern world is shaped by arms dealers, banks, corporations, and empires. The most advanced weapons, surveillance systems, and military doctrines overwhelmingly come from powerful Western states. These systems preach morality while exporting war, sanctions, debt, and regime change. They speak of peace while profiting from destruction. Religion is not the cause here, it is the perfect cover. This isn't about blaming Christianity, and it isn't about excusing Muslims. It's about refusing to let power hide behind a veil of faith. Until we stop blaming belief and start holding systems accountable, the machine keeps running and the wrong people keep taking the blame. Know your real enemy. It was never a religion.